So I sold it to Deanna Dietrich. So make sure you get her money. Don't let her leave and go back to South Carolina.
See, if you're her little brother, you get it for free.
Okay. We're going to continue here. They turned our old high school into a retirement home, and they call it the Tired Tigers. And believe me, after 4 years there, I was a tired tiger. Do I hear an amen? Do all of you remember the excuses that we used to get out of the house, to be in junior achievement, on the prom committee, in the class play, practicing for the class play? My mom and dad said, man, you must be going to the library a lot or really learning a lot, and I just was gone every night. And of course, so y'all know where I was going, I'm at the Penguin Boy. At this time, I would like Deanna Dietrich and Sharon Johnson to kindly come up and explain what happened to their family at a Warsaw High School reunion a few years back. Would you ladies please come forward and kind of tell the story?
Well, my father was a graduate of the 1931 class of Warsaw High School. And he's living in Milwaukee at the time, but I'm living in Warsaw. And I happened to spot in the paper that that class is having their class reunion at the Elks Club. So he decides that he'll come down and he'll go to it. Well, he goes that evening, and when he walks in, they have a poster board of all of the deceased, and his picture was on it. That poster hung in his den till the day he passed away.
My uncle Russell Henderson, who was also in his class, they had their, I think it was a dinner at the Elks Club, their 50th, and it wasn't a large class. Anyway, they were discussing while they were having their hors d'oeuvres and drinks and everything about, you know, all the ones that were deceased. And my uncle told me this personally many years ago, and so he said that, you know, they were saying, well, you know, Forrest, we haven't heard from him or anything, I think, you know, they said that he had passed away, and so they were, you know, doing like we did tonight, a little, you know, memorial for everybody. So they get to their salad course, and who walks in but Forrest Dietrich?
Oh my goodness,
And I must add, I asked my dad, I said, you did get the prize for coming from the farthest.
I never was a hall monitor, and I must have been stupid not to be, because I looked in the yearbook and I counted up all these people that said that they were hall monitors. So we had a class of 161, and 50 of you guys were hall monitors. Just what did you do? I mean, couldn't everybody get out of class? As another missed opportunity I had. Another missed opportunity that a lot of us had that weren't in band or chorus were the trips. And I would love to know what was going on these trips when you weren't singing and or playing. So please, fess up. Anybody want to come up and tell us the truth? I didn't think so. We had two of our parents, and I don't know how many would have been on the school board at that time. Two of our parents were on the school board and didn't help us one darn bit. Not one darn bit. Giles Hoffer had to go on a 10-week vacation the year that we graduated. He went to Europe. Do you blame him? I did some stupid things in high school, and I wrecked my car drag racing, stole flags with Mike Case and Barry Neiman from the Rosella Ford golf course and put them in Fort Chinworth Yard the night of the graduation. I rode on the back of Bob Craig's motorcycle going 100 miles an hour out Country Club Road, and I said, "Let me off." If you guys want more details about this, but Barry Neiman's not here, but Bob Murphy is, and John Ellis is, and Mike Case is, and they all know about this. But to me, the one that takes the cake. And Brock was my roommate in college, so I get to understand, I embellish the story a little bit. But I never have ever heard of anybody doing this. He has a date with the beautiful, lovely, blonde Bonnie Stoner, and she will back me up on this. He decides he wants to kiss her while they're driving. He takes his hands off the wheel and wrecks the car. Am I not correct, Bonnie Stoner? Yes. So that beautiful red 56 Chevrolet got it done. I want you to know that Marilyn Edenfield and Sharon Templeton and I worked at W.R. Thomas, and they are no longer in business. Where's Jerry Christner? Where is he? Okay. Do you guys know Jerry Christner was Raymond Christian in the yearbook? And Raymond Christian was Jerry Christner? Jerry Ford Chinworth was an assistant editor that year of Sue Ford Chinworth. Did Jerry Carper and Barry Neiman Rose? Well, that's too bad. They were going to come. And we may have had more, but right now that I know of, we have 3 married couples in our class that are still married to each other, which is Jerry Carper, Mary Lou Rose, Rick Snodgrass, and Linda Schlag. Rick Snodgrass is in somewhat failing health. And Janine Hartke and Steve Sager, and they came to the back. So if there are any more, I apologize. And I'll walk you down a little bit of memory lane. This is our growing up DNA. The Lake and Boyce Theaters, and the Strand even when I was first here. Tippy Gardens and the Elks Club upstairs, which Vivian Kelly was major responsibility again. She handled last night the Elks Club. I'm telling you, Viv Kelly, she said she's resigning, and I believe her. Tippy Gardens, the Elks Club, Pioneer Days, the Fair, Youth for Christ camps, Billy Graham and Billy at the Billy Sunday Tabernacle, which is where we graduated on a dirt floor. The Lake Center, Piking went on the lake. Noon dancing, American Bandstand, Baker Boys Club, county and sectional basketball games, Friday night lights for the football games, the bowling alleys, and many others. But I think probably we would all agree that the food part was pretty important in our life. Places like the Humpty Dumpty, Walter's Downtown, the Bunny Hut, Cherry's Cafe, the Cottage, the Eskimo Inn, the Favorite Cafe, B&K, Root Beer Stand, Breedings, the bakery, the wagon wheel, and of course special mention those great meals at the school cafeteria. Extra special mention goes to Walter's alongside Dewey's mom, Dixie, who was quite a character, but loved everybody that was a friend of Dewey's that walked through that door. Sharon Johnson's dad, Mayor Joe Johnson, he gave us the flagpole, and Carolyn Stouter's dad introduced us to the American Graffiti Rebel Without a Cause type drive-in, where you backed your car into a slot, ordered a Coke for a dime, stayed 2 hours, watching the cool cars drive by, race up the hill, then come back. Carolyn has written some anecdotes, and I'll read a few of them, but she couldn't attend, but she did want to wish all of us well. But I thought I'd read a couple things she wrote about, just briefly, about the Penguin Point, because it's kind of hard for me to believe that anybody that lived here or visited here at some point didn't go to the Penguin Point and take advantage of that 10-cent Coke. She said that the insight that they had, besides the Penguin Point, was to drive out, cruise out through Warsaw, go out to Gillian bowling lanes, then back out to Penguin Point, and then just on and on and on. So her dad was a little irritated because there were people taking bets that they could ride around the Penguin Point, just circle around over and over. Well, he counted one night, there was 100 circles by one driver, so he put in the curbs. So what Carolyn said is that the people figured out around the curb, they went outside the cars, went back around, and started making the circles again. They were open from 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 12:30 weekdays, 11 a.m. to 2:30 on weekends. They usually had 8 car hops, and each of them carried out anywhere from 50 to 100 orders a night. Their mother worked her mother worked the day shift, and her father worked the night shift. But they had a trailer behind that Penguin Point, and they had the speakers in the Penguin Point, and so Lloyd Stouter could hear the orders coming in, and if it got busy, he'd rush back out. So she's written a great letter, and she mentioned some of the beautiful cars, the Chicken Ship, the Night Rider, and several others. So her comment was, besides all the jukebox and all the fun that everybody had at the Penguin Point, she said that I hope that Penguin Point holds some special treasures and memories in your minds, as it does for me. If Mom and Dad were alive today, they would thank all of you and of course your families for making the point a success. Since they aren't here anymore, I want to thank all of you